What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mod Squad Network's Layeth the Squad Down. I am your host, Kevin. Joining me, as always, is the dude, Steve.
What's
What's
going
up,
on?
my man?
Oh, hey, what's going on with you?
Oh, it's a Sunday.
It's a Sunday. I got 30 minutes left in Jaws.
Oh, sweet.
Roy
Um,
Strider just said you're going to need a bigger boat. What more do you
oh,
need?
exactly. Before we get started on this week's show, let's make sure we get the sponsors taken care of. We have Skullectomy by Jolt 7 Studios. Amazing skulls. Scan that QR code. It'll take you straight to their Facebook page. Tell them that the Mod Squad sent you. Make sure you check out Straka Art. Amazing artwork. Scan that QR code. It'll take you straight to his website. Amazing work at a decent price. Go check it out. Make sure you check out the Mod Squad community. There you can
That's
conversate
not
with us.
that's not a sponsor.
It's not a sponsor, but I like to send people there. And our shirts. Just scan this QR code right here. It'll take you to the Mod Squad community. Our shirt of the month is the graffiti shirt. Still have not loaded that in, so check out one of the other shows.
By the time we get to it, it'll be a new T-shirt.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. Oh man, we had some good stuff happen this week, I believe. Let's jump right
Lots of
into
good stuff. Let's dive right in. I'll let you cover Raw
yes.
because it's so amazing. I watched it. I watched both Raw and SmackDown, but I'll let you cover it because I got a lot to cover on AEW.
All righty, here we go. Let's start off with Raw. Jey Uso kicked off the show with KO making his way out shortly after. Jay, with KO saying, Jay, you got a lot to prove to everybody in the back, my man. And then the Judgment Day comes out and says, hey, you don't speak for the whole locker room. We welcome you, Jay. We want you to join the Judgment Day. Uh, that prompts Jay to say, let's do a tag team match. Judgment Day versus myself and KO. So later in the night, or no, they do have the match with the Judgment Day picking up the victory with a ill-advised super kick from Jay into KO. So
Bum bum.
yeah, Jay is not endowing himself very well to KO at this moment. Next, we get The Miz versus Akira Tozawa. 2 weeks ago, Tozawa picked up the victory over The Miz, but this week, The Miz picks up the victory here, and it was a squash. It was a straight
I'm
squash.
not even gonna lie. I walked away and came back, and I saw the Miz facing someone with blonde hair, and I went, "Oh, he's facing Cody for some reason." Because it was just like he was on the mat facing this way with just the top of his head showing. I couldn't see his face at all, and I was like, "Oh, it must be Cody Rhodes." It was
Well,
it was Akira Tozawa.
yeah. Well, Cody Rhodes' entrance takes a lot longer than Akira Tozawa's, so you probably would have picked up on that one. uh, Gunther celebrates a new record, and I'm not gonna lie, I was hoping Honky Tonk Man would have showed up at some point, uh, but did not happen.
Wayne probably
Um,
wanted too much money.
Probably. After a backstage segment, Chelsea Green and with Piper Nevin. Yeah, this is when this happened. It was okay segment.
It's
Ne-
Chelsea.
it's Chelsea Green. I love the way I think the announcer for Raw is probably one of the better announcers that they've had in a long time. I
I
like the way.
I hate entrances where the wrestlers like do stuff that are actively involved with the entrance. Like prime example, Chelsea Green with the shush, Damian Priest when he was on NXT up into him being with the Judgment Day on
Oh,
Fire the Arrow,
yeah,
Julia Hart coming out with the House of Black. Like there are just a handful of wrestlers that do this shit, and it's just so annoying.
I get it. I get it.
Plus,
What
plus
about what about the foot stomp from uh oh my god, the women's champ is slipping my
Rhea
mind.
Ripley.
Rhea, yeah, yeah. What about
I
the foot
mean,
stomp?
it's not it's. I'd have to see it to know if I could really complain about it or not because it's never made so much of an impact of it having to be like precise and on time. Like Damian Priest with his entrance, if he's off on what
It was off. It was
episode,
always off.
you know what I mean? Like it looks horrible. Like he never got the lighting right. Lord knows they couldn't have fucking practiced. I please continue though. I'm sorry, I went on a tirade. I didn't mean to.
Uh, no, that's fine. Next we have Xavier Woods versus Drew McIntyre. This was actually a really good match. I think Xavier Woods is coming on as a singles wrestler. I wish that they'd break up the New Day and just let them be separate. But Drew McIntyre picks up the victory on this one. Next we get Chelsea Green versus Shayna Baszler. Yeah, Shayna just totally destroyed her. Yeah. Then we get Tommaso Ciampa and Alpha Academy versus Imperium, with Ciampa and Alpha Academy picking up the victory on this one. Another good match. Really
A
good
match that
match.
was set up by backstage promo.
Yeah.
That doesn't.
I'm not really getting big into the backstage stuff unless it's really relevant.
Sure,
Because,
why not?
uh, then we have Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez, and I thought Raquel Rodriguez is really the only person that could beat Ripley in the
This was
WWE
our
at the
main event.
moment.
This was our main event
Yes,
of
this
all that.
this was our main event. But you can obviously tell that they're not ready for Raquel to have the women's championship. So who else would be the best person to take the championship off of Rhea Ripley? But during this match, Nia Jax shows up. Not a fan of Nia Jax. Not a huge fan of Nia Jax. She's pretty
Interesting.
reckless. Yeah, she's pretty reckless. But
Reckless?
I
Don't
can
you just
see.
mean reckless?
Was that?
Don't you reckless? Don't you just mean reckless?
Yes. However you want to say it, reckless. But yeah, I can see Naya taking the championship from Rhea, and then somebody of lesser importance stature taking it off of Naya, because let's face it, anybody right now, I don't think should be taking it off of Rhea. Rhea's too big. So that there you have it. That is Raw. That is Raw in a nutshell. Let's move on to SmackDown, shall we?
Yes, let's.
SmackDown opens up with Pat McAfee making an appearance on Raw, or on SmackDown, I should say. He makes a surprise entrance, comes down to the ring, starts talking, and then, of course, Austin Theory shows up and starts running down Pat McAfee, talking about, I'm not here for you. You think I care what these fans think? Blah, blah, blah. And Pat's like, dude, this is not your show. This is the people's show. And as soon as he said that, I'm like, wait, 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 what? And he goes, do you know what that means? If you smell what The Rock is cooking. The Rock makes an appearance on SmackDown.
Bro,
The
you can
crowd,
tell like they go to the audience shot and everyone jumps to their feet.
oh, dude, it was freaking awesome. Can you imagine just going to a normal SmackDown and The Rock just shows up for no reason whatsoever? I mean, the reason was that they were having college game day and The Rock was on college game day about an hour away from where SmackDown was being uh, at held at. So, of course, Pat McAfee and The Rock comes down. It was a great surprise, to tell you the truth.
And
Uh,
it's a great back and forth between the two of them.
Oh, it was, and then of course Austin takes the a spine buster and then the people's elbow, both from The Rock and then from Pat McAfee. So, the next match of the night: AJ Styles versus Finn Balor, with a Balor defeating Styles. I'm just going through LWO versus the Street Profits. Street Profits pick up the victory versus the LWO. I'm really enjoying what they're doing with the Street Profits and Bobby Lashley. I can't wait for them to actually get a team name or
They're the Hurt
uh,
Business.
they have not said that they're the Hurt Business. They have not said that at all. They've just said that they're taking over,
Oh,
and
I
that's
thought it said Hurt Business behind them when they came out. I might
if
be wrong.
If it did, I must have missed it. But yeah, they've never mentioned by name the
Oh,
Hurt
that's
Business. I
fine.
don't think. Yeah,
I love the group. I love the group as well. So I'm really excited to see what they do.
yeah. Next we get a was it a rematch? We get L.A. Knight,
Yeah,
yeah,
let me talk to
versus
you.
versus the Miz, with L.A. Knight picking up the victory clean. It was a good match. L.A. Knight's really good. Then we get Oscar versus Bailey, with Oscar defeating Bailey, and then the ending segment of the night is John Cena on the Grayson Waller effect. Uh, I don't. It ended up with Jay Uso interrupting them, and a brawl solo at the end. Honestly, I barely even remember this segment.
It
The
the whole
biggest
the
thing.
whole setup the whole setup for it though is there's a promo with Heyman and Solo where Solo is like because LA Knight starts running his mouth after he beats the Miz and then Solo's like
Mhm.
I'm gonna take care of the problem and Heyman's like listen you need the word from up above and he's like I don't need the word and he's like well who gave you the word and then that's what leads to what this is at the end essentially.
Okay, I got you. But yeah, it was one of those things to where I don't even remember, to tell you the truth. I think I was still hyped on The Rock showing up, but that's just me. I'm a big Rock guy. I've always been a Rock guy. But there you have it. That is Raw and SmackDown. What do we have for some AE dubs?
All right. Well, I love what Moxley is doing right now as the international champion because for the last 2 weeks, Dynamite, it's Wednesday night. You know what that means. Dynamite opens with Moxley putting the international championship on the line, and he puts it up against Big Bill. Of course, Moxley, within I think the first 5 minutes, starts bleeding. But in the
Well, it's
long
his
run,
trademark. It's his
but
trademark.
but in the long run, he does end up picking the win against Big Bill. We get a four-way to figure out who is going to be facing Soraya at Dynamite next week for the number one contendership, and it's Tony Storm against Hikaru Shida, Nyla Rose, and Dr. Britt Baker, with Tony Storm chin up, tits out, and always watch for the shoes. Tony Storm uh, picking up the win. I love what they are doing with Tony Storm right now. I was not a fan of
Yeah,
Tony Storm at all in WWE. I am loving Tony Storm in AEW.
that shit
Um,
crazy Tony Storm.
we get Hangman versus Brian Cage. I'm assuming it's Brian Cage and not Christian Cage. I just wrote Cage. With Hangman picking up the win. Uh, Derby and Nick Wayne going up against Cool Hand Luke and Daddy Magic Menard, with Derby, of course, picking up the win. And in the main event, we have the finals to find out who will be facing MJF for the heavyweight championship of Roderick Strong taking on Samoa Joe. And in a great back and forth, Samoa Joe ends up winning. He cuts a promo that says, MJF, I am going to take everything from you before
Oh.
this is all said and done. I'm going to take everything. And then we get this great bit from Roderick because Adam, the kingdom, Mike Taven and Mike
Mhm.
or Matt Taven and Mike Bennett are checking on Roddy, and Roddy's got his back to the entrance, and Adam starts coming out, and Roderick turns around, grabs his neck, and goes, Adam! Adam! And just starts screaming Adam as they're putting it on, and the kingdom is blaming Cole for it, and they start wheeling them off, and Cole is up on the ramp saying, it's not my fault, and then Joe comes out and chokes out Cole, and he goes, everything. I'm taking everything from you, Maxwell, and then
Oh,
throws him.
nice. Okay.
They also continue the Kenny Omega Don Callis feud. I forget where they placed it. I forgot to write it down. But they revealed that the next victim that Kenosuke Takeshita, I had to think of his name, is going after is Kota Ibushi, Kenny
Okay.
Omega's old tag team partner. On Collision, it opens up with a tag team of the Revolution is televised. Boom, boom. Ricky Starks taking on Ricky Starks and Big Bill taking on Claudio and Brian Danielson. And in a tie of events, there's a low blow and a finisher, and Ricky Starks pins Brian Danielson.
Oh, nice.
I don't know the name of the tag team, but it's the Bears. It's those Bear guys.
The
I
bear
just call them
guys.
the Savage Bears, and they went up against FTR, and FTR squashed them.
As you
Silver
do.
John Silver takes on Anthony Bowens in what was a really good match, and with some trickery. The Dark Order picks up the win, and the Meat Man John Silver, Johnny Hungy, they end up picking up the win. Aussie Open takes on two jobbers and beats them in about a minute. Cuts a promo saying that at the next pay per view that's coming up, they whether the belts are on the line or not, they want FTR. Uh, pardon me. Scorpio Sky ends up taking on Andrade, and in what is a good back and forth, as both are very solid entertainers in the ring.
Mhm.
Uh, Andrade picks up the win. He goes.
I haven't even seen Scorpio Sky in the ring in a long time.
He's been injured. He was
Oh,
injured, and he's wrestled on one other collision.
okay.
In a great tag team, only because of the one of the teams, the Hardys take on the Righteous, with the Righteous picking up the win. And in the main event of Collision, the first time on a main event, women's, the TNT Championship is on the line as
Ooh,
Dr. Britt Baker takes on Chris Statlander. And both are very talented in the ring. And with
very.
that, Statlander picks up the win. Not a lot to push or continue. They're setting up. Oh, they did announce a match that I'm very excited for at the next pay per view, and that is going to be Brian Danielson taking on Zack Sabre Jr., two of the greatest technical wrestlers to ever step foot in the ring, going
Definitely.
against each other. Next week, though, the match that I'm looking forward to the most is Claudio Castagnoli versus Eddie Kingston in title versus title of the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship for the New Japan Heavyweight Pro Strong Championship.
All right. Do you have a match of the week?
If I had to have a match of the week, it's going to be Joan Strong, Samoa
Joan
Joe
Strong?
Strong. Yeah,
I'm actually going to go Rhea Rodriguez. I'm going to go Rhea Rodriguez.
it's
Even
a
though
good,
it was interrupted with Nia Jax. It was,
it's a good wrestler's name, Maria Rodriguez.
yeah, it is. All right. As we come to a close, Steve, where can people find you on your podcast, sir?
That would be the last podcast you'd want. It's available on every major podcasting. You can see it's right up there. It's available on every major podcasting outlet, network, call it what you will. Tip the veal, try the staff. Thank you all for coming. And if you didn't, better luck next time.
All right. Make sure you check out Back to the Retro Review. That is my channel where we review movies from the 80s and 90s, and you will see this guy right there. Make sure you check out all the other channels here on the Mod Squad. We have you're watching a wrestling show. We have a Movie Talk Monday. We have a horror show. We have a gamer show, and we go live every Saturday night. Also, within the Mod Squad network, we have the Daily Dank. Check him out if you like cannabis and cannabis entertainment. All right, I do believe that does it for this episode of the Mod Squad Networks. Layeth the squad down. So for Steve the Dude, I am Kevin saying thank you for being a friend, everybody.